cry a lot, like regularly. Maybe in a week I can cry like 3 times. I'm constantly tired, I'm constantly exhausted. Hi everyone, my name is Priya. I'm the Programs and Productions Manager at the Dorothy Njemase Foundation, and I'm also a first responder. Come with me, let me show you what a day in the life of a first responder is like.
This day was the 14th of February 2023 when I went to meet Priye Diri at the entrance of the Federal High Court, Gudu, to attend one of her client's proceedings. Priye's client is a widow who needed to get justice for her 8-year-old daughter who was allegedly raped by a suspected cultist. At the courtroom, the lawyer who was supposed to represent Priye's client from the Nigerian police force was not present, so he had to assign the case to another lawyer. The lawyer presented the case in court and charged the accused with the Penal Code of 1960, which Priye had an issue with. Another lawyer decided to represent the accused person, and then the judge adjourned the case till March 8 for hearing of the bail application, while the accused was remanded in police custody. After the court proceedings, she decided to ask the lawyer why the penal code was used as against recent gender-based violence protection laws.
Why didn't you use it for? Yeah, why didn't you use it for penal code? It's not for the child that act. So you have to request for amendments.
Yeah, the one we use penal code.
I heard it inside, which is why I thought.
I'm sure the lawyer will take it up.
No problem. Well, they still need to amend the child.
So I think we should.
The reason Priye requests an amendment is because the penal code gives a soft landing to the perpetrator, such that if he's given a sentence, he can appeal the ruling, whereas the Child Rights Act does not give him the right to appeal. We left the court premises and headed to Priye's office for our other activities of the day.
I want to scan the charge sheets.
Okay.
Yeah, so that we can have a copy for ourselves and we can use it to engage the police.
While Priye files the paperwork for her clients, she shares some interesting revelations about this case.
So I had a dream like on Sunday. We were having a case of like a cultist who had raped like a child. Like I think my dream was a 5-year-old child thereabout. And the child, we were DNF was handling the case. I was like a case manager on the case. And we had successfully sent him to jail and everybody was like happy. Only for, he comes like in the dream, there are people outside the office like cultists holding guns and machetes. And then we're inside the office and then like some people come into the office with guns and they're like, where are they? And then there's a truck, so they're coming in with a truck also, they're packing things like packing tables, laptops, everything into the truck. And they're saying, Shebi no ona. And that's what that was in the dream. And then somebody came and says, oh, do you know this person? So they show me a picture. And I said, no, I don't know the person. Next thing, the guy just walks into the office, got a picture. Say, so you know, the last you don't know me, and then he shoots me here. In my dream, by the way, he shoots me here. And then they carry Dorothy and put her in their car and they zoom away. And I had the dream on Sunday. Then on Monday, I come to the office and Dorothy sent a message to like the case management group chat, and she says, call this number immediately. And call the number, and then the woman says, oh, my life is in, I'm being threatened by a cultist who raped my daughter. And I was like, no. Like, my colleagues were like, Priya, what's going on? And then I'm like, no, I had a dream yesterday that, so I explained everything to them. And then when she came, it was like, well, the cultists come to her house and harass her. And in my head, I'm just like, no way. How will I dream about a case with a cultist a day before, and then the very next day, something of that sort is reported, and I was just like, no. And so like Dorothy was like, pray stay away from the case, and my mother was like, stay away from that case, don't go close. God has already shown it to you in a vision. I'm like, okay, but am I staying away? No.
On this, a behavioral physician, Dr. Ada Ikeako, told Premium Times that there is no scientific validity to the experience Ms. Diri had.
Well, she could be dreaming about PTSD cases, but not specifically to pinpoint that A and B is going to have a trauma on so and so date.
Priya's dedication to her work is admirable, but the job takes a toll on her mental health.
Hey, my mental health. I don't know how I do it, to be very honest. I don't know how I do it because I journal. I do a lot of journaling. I do a lot of crying. I do recommend cries. I cry a lot, like regularly. Maybe in a week I can cry like 3 times, and it's not like anything big has happened. It's just I'm constantly tired. I'm constantly exhausted. It's a lot of work with little to zero pay in that regard.
She shares how she copes with the mental stress and exhaustion.
Don't lose the sunshine. The sun's going to shine on everything you do. Pray the next big thing she can. Pray the start. Just things that sort of like
Hypes you.
Yeah.
So like this is like your morning routine or ritual?
Yes.
Okay, so what's the why to responding? The reason? Why did you decide to?
I didn't even decide to be a responder. I want to be very honest. I didn't decide to be a responder. I think that for me, I started out just sort of like wanting to help. I'd gone through a traumatic experience and I wanted to see that I could support other people who were going to go through the same. It was from that case to the next case, to the next case, to the next case, to the next case, and
Yeah, since 2017.
yeah.
What areas make it difficult to work as a GP?
To be very honest, all areas are difficult. Dealing with the police, it's sometimes very challenging because a lot of times, like, they think that they know it all. Meanwhile, their training might be from like 10 years ago, but they're holding on to that for dear life and refuse to listen to anybody else. Sometimes the survivors also, the moment they don't get what they're looking for from you, they turn on you. Also, like, one of the things that frustrates me the most, aside this, is the legal system. I know how many cases that I've worked on since I joined this organization, and
How many?
Over 2,000 cases. And sometimes during the investigation procedure, they force survivors to settle. The law enforcement officers force survivors to settle. Afterwards, they also frustrate survivors so much that survivors are no more interested in the case.
After her chat with me, we left the office for the National Hospital, Abuja, to see another client, 19-year-old orphan with no siblings. Priya narrated to me that the survivor was found in a mall in the nation's capital, bruised and raped, and after further health checks, they found that she was anemic and had tuberculosis, and she has been in the hospital since January 5. She came to check on the survivor to know how her health is faring.
We spent money. So now, what we're trying to do is we're trying to write to the Ministry of Women Affairs to see how they can support us with the bill for her. And for us, it's even holistic because she gets well, she lives here. Where does she go? So we're trying to see how we can also sort of like raise some funding to be able to get her a small apartment.
We left the National Hospital for the shelter where other GBV survivors are residing.
This is the biggest room. And if you notice, some beds are not here because they moved them downstairs. If you saw the people are not there now. So
the shelter was opened in 2020 following increased gender-based violence cases during the COVID-19 lockdown in Nigeria. It has been a safety net for over 200 women and girls and children.
Is this space, are you guys paying rent here?
here we are.
How
We
much?
are. I think 2.3 or so. 2.3 or 2.5. I don't know the landlord now wants to increase his rent. Thank you guys for joining with me today in the life of a first responder. And you've seen the hard work that goes behind the scenes, the thankless, taxing work that we do. I'm hoping that you can support the workers that we do at the Dorothy Njemaze Foundation. Donate, help, volunteer in any way that you can. We need all the support that we can get to be able to help survivors of sexual and gender-based violence. We need all the help and all the assistance to be able to create a safer and better society for all. So thank you very much as you donate, as you support. Love and light.